Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I'm just now realizing that this is the very first movie of 2025 that I have seen in theaters. I'm talking about The Wolfman. Whoa, they have a Wolverine from the Deadpool movie? Get the fuck out of here! Wolfman is a 2025 film that was co-written and directed by Lee Wanell, and if that name sounds familiar, it should, because Lee Wanell has been a part of the horror game, whether it's acting, directing, writing, for quite some time, like 20 or so years. The Saw films is where he got his start, and I have been kind of following his career almost indirectly. It's just one of those things where I'm like, oh, I see his name pop up in a lot of these horror movies that I personally end up liking a lot. I know he's not for everybody. I know his movies generally get sort of mixed reviews. This film included. I was sort of surprised to see the Rotten Tomato score, seeing certain reviews from certain people online. So, yes, this film, I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing since Lee Wanell also did the Invisible Man movie, when the Dark Universe completely failed to be a thing, right? They tried to make that a thing with Tom Cruise's Mummy, and they had that picture of all of those actors that were about to do Universal monster films and call it the Dark Universe. What a shit, awful idea. But that was scrapped, and then ever since Lee Wanell did Invisible Man, it seems like they're almost trying to do like a soft redo on that. This movie, especially, like when you watch it, there's no clear cut, hey, this is connected to that other movie. So I don't know, maybe they just want him to do all these movies just because they like his style. Blumhouse, who produced this movie, they like how he's able to do these films for super cheap. I think the budget was like $25 million. But this film, it's definitely a smaller film because it follows one family. You have Blake, played by Christopher Abbott, who he finds out that his father passes away, so he takes his wife and daughter to Oregon, where his father lived, and they're supposed to go and collect his things. And so, of course, when they get there, what's there? A goddamn werewolf, or more specifically, a wolf man. And so you're following them basically having to try to survive and deal with that. And I gotta say, I personally really enjoyed this film. I did. I liked a lot of things about this movie. And so maybe that makes me in the minority as far as people that are going to say overly positive things about it. I think some people aren't going to like the fact that this movie does feel a little small and does feel not smaller budget per se, because I thought the effects for what they were going for came across fairly well. But it's not like action packed. It's not like there's 100 kills that maybe some people want or are looking for in a werewolf, wolfman type horror movie, especially in today's day and age. But I didn't mind that. I didn't really need that. I think the last time that we got a Wolfman movie, they did try to do something like that. They did try to beef up the action and beef up the kills, and the Benicio del Toro one. And for me, that one didn't work as well. Although I love the way the Wolfman looked in that 2010 film. The design, maybe the CGI was bad, but the actual practical effects of that werewolf is one of the best Wolfman designs I think I've ever seen. This one, the design of the Wolfman, maybe not perfect, maybe not great. You could argue that it could use some more hair, or like it sort of was going for a, I guess, realistic as you can get with this supernatural premise. I think they were trying to go for a little more groundedness and realism, as far as this thing being described as more of a disease or more of a sickness, an infection. So I appreciated that. I did. And the acting, I think, is what I appreciated the most about this film. The main character, Blake, once again played by Christopher Abbott, I thought he was great. I have seen this actor in a few things. Most recently, Kraven the Hunter. And he wasn't even bad in Kraven the Hunter. It's just, man, the differences of seeing him in a shit movie versus what I feel like is a better movie, and getting to see him do a lot more with this character. In the beginning, you get a flashback of him when he was a kid with his father, and just that sort of relationship and how his father kind of was to him, and how that, it's very subtle. It's not like a lot, but you see how that informs him of the kind of father he wants to be. When we jump ahead in the future, and him with his daughter, I really liked the father-daughter dynamic here. I did. I liked how he was with his daughter. I liked how his daughter was with him. I liked the closeness that they had, especially because the mother is way more of a work mother, and she even has one scene where she says, "I don't feel as connected to my daughter anymore. Like, she's more connected to you, relates more to you, and like, I don't know if I'm even a good mother anymore." I should mention, Charlotte, the wife, is played by Julia Garner, who I know a lot of people were talking about her from that Netflix TV show. What was it, Ozark? I never saw it, so I don't have anything to think of or any reference point on this actress, but I will say that I liked her in this movie. Again, I like the layers that they try to give these characters and not make them as one-dimensional. The daughter as well, Ginger, is played by Matilda Firth. I thought she did a great job. I'm trying to stay as spoiler-free as I can because I remember seeing the trailer for this, but I don't remember like how much the trailer gave away as far as what exactly ends up happening throughout this movie. I like the little dynamics of maybe the husband and wife having issues in their marriage, but it's not like the usual issues. It's not like Speak No Evil, where the issues with them almost made you dislike the husband for sort of not having a backbone, or maybe dislike the wife because she had previously cheated. Like, it's nothing like that here. It's issues that are a lot more relatable. Not that other stuff doesn't happen, unfortunately. But the issues here felt like they were a lot more doable to work through, a lot more able to see the two of them want to work past all of that. I liked the Wolfman practical effects. Maybe they did have some CGI. It was hard to tell the way how it was shot. I thought they did do a good job of showing the slow transformation of a person becoming a werewolf or a wolfman. Once again, that might bother some people over when I say slow. Maybe for them it took too long. Maybe for them they wanted things to speed up or get to the good stuff, the horror stuff quicker. But I liked how it took its time. I like how they sort of set up the things that would end up happening much later in the film. And I also liked this. I don't know if I've ever seen a werewolf, wolfman type film do this before, where you're seeing the point of view of the person that is slowly turning into a werewolf, and you're seeing, like, literally we go into their point of view of how they see everything in like a room, and how the colors look different, how their senses are changing, and how they can't even understand a person talking. Like, even if the person's talking directly to them, they can't understand them, right? And when they try to speak back, you see the other point of view of, like, it just sounds like animal sounds and gibberish. And I just thought that was fascinating. I liked the way that was conveyed. Again, I'm seeing reviews that I don't think people, or as many people, were as into this as I was, but I enjoyed Wolfman. I did. I enjoyed a lot about it. I think Lee Wynell, if Blumhouse continues doing these monster films with this level budget and this level of storytelling and characters, I think we can have some cool, maybe underappreciated, but hopefully financially successful horror films that I will dig. I will. I'm going to give this movie full price. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too saw Wolfman. What did you think of it? Did you like it as much as I did? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!